Dear students, today I have to continue the previous class, that is Introduction to Current Electricity. In the previous class, I had completed about the some basic definitions of current electricity, and we have understood what is potential difference, what is current, what is electric current, what is resistance, and what is the EMF. These are some basic things of this current electricity, and that you have to again study again and again, because whenever you study this year in 2 semester current electricity, in 2 years you are going to study current electricity. So therefore that fundamental concepts of this branch of physics you must understand clearly. Then only you will be possible to study the topics of this year and next year also. Now here, apart from understanding this what is called the basic concepts of this current electricity, or what is electric current, what is potential difference, what is resistance. So there is one relation connecting current, voltage and resistance, and that relationship between current and voltage was given by fundamental law of current electricity. It is called as Ohm's law. It is called as Ohm's law. Now Ohm's law is the fundamental law of current electricity. So once you understand what is this Ohm's law and relationship between current and voltage, so it is given like this. The strength of current across a conductor, the statement here is the strength of electric current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference between the ends of the conductor. So that is Ohm's law. The potential difference between 2 points of the conductor is directly proportional to strength of electric current, provided temperature and dimensions of conductor should remain unaltered. Provided temperature, dimensions of conductor remains unaltered. So then only potential difference across the current conductor is directly proportional to current, provided temperature and other physical dimensions of conductor remain unaltered. So this is what is called Ohm's law. Therefore, what I told you, P is proportional to I. Statement of Ohm's law. P is proportional to I. P is potential difference across the conductor, I the strength of electric current. And then P is proportional to I means what is the linear relationship? There is a linear, it is called linear, because as B increases, I also increases. As B increases, I also increases. If V decreases, I also decreases. So linear relationship. So therefore P is proportional to I, or P is equal to R is equal to V divided by I. V divided by I. So what is this R then? This R is constant of proportionality. R is constant of proportionality, or it is constant. So therefore this R is called as resistance of the conductor. is resistance of the conductor. So that V divided by I means what? As V increases, I increases. So that the ratio is constant. So that ratio is called as resistance of conductor. Resistance of conductor. That also clears. First I told you it is a unit of this resistance is ohm. It is ohm. That is the unit of resistance. Then you know that I told you that here temperature and physical dimensions remains unaltered. Temperature and physical dimensions remains unaltered. Temperature, if it is there, increases, there possibility that this relationship will not hold so. Correct? It should be constant. Temperature should remain unaltered. Physical dimensions should remain unaltered. Means about length of conductor, dimensions of conductor, length, breadth of the conductor. So that should remain unaltered. Then only this relationship holds good. Correct? This relationship is linear relationship. It holds good only when temperature and physical dimensions remain unaltered. So therefore, plot the graph. Suppose we plot the graph of P against I. Then what happens? Straight line. We get straight line here. Straight line. So that this straight line gives us indication that linear relationship. As I increases, we also increase. And if you take slope of this straight line, slope A, B, C. Slope is equal to, sorry, I'll write here only. Slope is equal to AB divided by BC. AB means increase in voltage or change in voltage. BC means change in current. So that is just like delta V by delta I. So this is your R, resistance. It will use the slope, it will give the resistance of the conductor. Correct? So then there are devices which will obey this Ohm's law. Those are called as ohmic devices. They are ohmic devices. There are devices which will obey this relationship between P and I. They are called as ohmic devices. And there are, what are the examples here I can give for ohmic devices? Ammeter. You can say ammeter, voltmeter. You can say ammeter, voltmeter. These are all devices. Okay. We take these devices. They are ohmic devices. They are called as ohmic devices. Or there are certain devices where the relationship between V and I will not hold good. Means plot the graph of V against I. If you using the diode if you take diode case, here if you plot this graph, they are called non-ohmic devices. Non-ohmic devices. So here you may get like this. Correct? So that here what happens is straight line will be after some time. But here what happens is not a straight line. So therefore this type of device is called diode, semiconductor diode. This is non-ohmic. Transistors, non-ohmic devices. So there are examples I can give for non-ohmic devices. So like this you must understand what is Ohm's law and relationship between Ohm's law. So that V and I, relationship between voltage and current, that you must know. Then only you will understand this Ohm's law. And once you understand Ohm's law, then you will understand how that resistance. Now, once you want to design the circuit, you must know what is to be reduced if resistance is to be increased. Suppose for constant voltage, you have to change the current. If you increase the current, what will happen? Resistance decreases. If you increase the current in that circuit. Suppose you want to decrease. If you decrease current, then what happens? Resistance increases. That inversely proportional, both are inversely proportional to each other. So therefore, that you must know here that there is inversal proportional relation for constant voltage between resistance and current. Between resistance and current. Okay, certain conditions in designing of circuits. This relationship is very important. If you understand this relationship, you will understand you can design the electrical circuits or electronic circuits also. So therefore, that is what is called Ohm's law. And already in previous class I told you about the resistances. There is combination of resistances. Combination of resistances. Suppose there are two resistances connected in series. This is R1. It is R2. Correct? Then this equivalent resistance is RS. Equivalent circuit is RS. Suppose this RS means what? It is equal to combination of two, R1 and R2. Individual resistances. Combination of resistances. Sum of resistances connected in series. That is RS. This RS. It is in ohm. Correct? So that in series, you want to connect a resistance in series, equivalent resistance is equal to sum of individual resistances. Suppose same if you connect parallel. This is R1 and R2. Then what is equivalent resistance? RP. Right here, RP. Actually, according to laws of combination of resistances in parallel, here the equivalent resistance is equal to R upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. Sum of reciprocal of individual resistances. So that is equivalent resistance RP. It is also ohm. Now what happens if you connect the resistances in series? Equivalent resistance value increases. If you connect the resistances in parallel, equivalent resistance value decreases. Because it is required, and sometimes in electronic circuits you have to connect the resistances in series. Then what happens? Resistance is greater. Equivalent resistance value is greater. So in that case, what is the for fixed value of voltage? Current will be smaller because resistance is larger. Then current will be smaller. Suppose you want to increase current, in that case you have to use parallel combination of resistances. So that equivalent resistance is in that case smaller. So therefore that you must know in the case of combination of resistances. Suppose here it is 5 plus 5. It is example 5 ohm plus 5 ohm, it is 10 ohm. And same if you calculate Rp, it is 5U into 5U R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. How much it is? 25 divided by 10. 5 divided by 2. How much it is? 2.5 ohms. 2.5 ohms. Here it is 10. Just look Rp value. Decreases here. Rp value is 2.5. Rs value is 10. Decreases. Understood? So therefore that value, whenever according to requirement in the circuit, you have to connect. This is about combination of resistances. Then you might have studied some resistances. They are connected in quadrilateral form, and then you want to have the law here. You have to study here law called as Kirchhoff's law. Quadrilateral means what? You might be knowing this is quadrilateral form. Quadrilateral form. Correct or no? So where along. So that is quadrilateral form. So then why it is used? Because in Kirchhoff's law, you are going to study here Kirchhoff's law. So what you are going to study in this Kirchhoff's law? You want to analyze the electrical circuits. To analyze the electrical circuits, this Kirchhoff's law is used. Analysis purpose, to find the value of main current, to find the value of branch current. Correct? So that is the use of this Kirchhoff's law. That you have to here use the Kirchhoff's law to study about the electrical circuits. So you want to analyze. You want to analyze the electrical circuits. Up to this, what you have studied now, in the case of this Ohm's law, you can have the value of resistance there, but here it is applied only to DC circuits. That is another limitation of Ohm's law. Ohm's law has limitation that it can be applied only to DC circuits. It cannot be applied to AC circuit. That is the one condition. And here limitations, I told you that its temperature should be constant. If temperature varies, what happens? I forgot to tell you at that time. So what happens if your temperature increases, then resistance also increases. What is this relation between temperature and resistance? As temperature increases, resistance increases. So you might have studied this relation, that is positive temperature of coefficient of resistance. Correct? Negative temperature coefficient of resistance. You might have studied. So there, you know this. Suppose that temperature increases, decreases, then resistance also increases, decreases. Correct? Therefore, these limitations of Ohm's law now are there. Cannot be used to analyze electrical circuits. It can be used only for relationship between current, voltage. And then the Kirchhoff's law statement is here is that is the first law is that if you take summation of all the branch currents, it is equal to 0. Means, suppose if you take point in a electrical circuit, the sum of incoming currents you take. Now suppose this is incoming current. Suppose it is I1 I2, I3. So if you take sum of all these I1 plus I2 plus I3, it is equal to sum of outgoing current. Outgoing, supposing this is the outgoing current, this is the outgoing current, this is the outgoing current. Suppose this is I4, I5, I5, I6. Means sum of incoming current is equal to sum of outgoing current. I4, I5 plus I6. And if you take towards one side, this is equal to 0. Equal to 0. Sum of all is equal to 0. So that this is the point is node. It is called a node. Where all the currents meet, that point is called node. In diagram, electrical diagram, there is a point. Okay, so it is first law. Second law of Kirchhoff's, use that summation of E is equal to summation of sum of IR. Means to take a complicated circuits where more than one cell is connected. More than one cell is connected. Correct? So in that electrical network, sum of all sources of EMF is equivalent to sum of product of current and voltage. Sum of product of current and voltage. So that is Kirchhoff's second law. Kirchhoff's second law. So like this, you have to study Kirchhoff's first law and second law properly. Then only you will understand electrical networks, designing of electrical network, designing of electronic circuits. So it is sum of E is equal to sum of I. Okay, just if you draw the diagram here, suppose now one diagram I will show you. Correct? And here it is main current flowing through it. Now what happens here? I is the main current. It is I1. It is I2. Suppose divides here. Divides, and this is R1, R2. This is I. Now one side if you take all is E1, E2. Now E plus, now current is direction shown like this from positive terminal to negative terminal of the cell. Suppose I will take like this, then what happens here? It is sum of E, this is 1. Suppose if you take only one this branch I will take, not this, correct? Then what happens here? E1, because positive terminal to negative terminal, it is positive. Positive, taken as positive sign, it is E2, positive sign. Then equal to, what is now product of IR? I1 R1 plus I2 R. I2 R. So this is summation of E, summation of equal to I. So this is one branch, I have taken branch of that circuit. So like this you can have here second one. Two complicated circuits you can study here, analyze them and you can study them properly. So this first law, second law, Kirchhoff's law, the same one. So then if you go further like this, you have to study what is the balance condition for Kirchhoff's network or electrical network. That balance condition, if you know very well, it is a quadrilateral triangle where you are connecting 4 resistances in series, quadrilateral arms, and then if they are P, Q, R, S, then condition is that P by Q equal to R by S, and IT, current flowing through the current galvanometer in the arm is equal to 0. It's like this, that condition also you have to study detail. So I am studying going fast because you must know, you must study all these things. And then revision it is called, whatever up to today we have told you, it is revision of the classes. And next class we will start our actual syllabus. And therefore whatever we have told you, current electricity, you study it in the home once again and again. And go through all the important concepts, study them. If you have any doubts regarding concept and notes regarding this, you have asked some of you in the WhatsApp group. That notes regarding this introduction will not you have to study yourself by referring your books, and whatever we have told you, and then you have to ask the question if you have any doubts. In next class I will start my actual topic. Okay, thank you.